Everyone, this is Rahul Malhotra from SFDC Stop, and in this video tutorial, we are going to learn how we can deploy our code from Sandbox to production. Okay, so we'll learn how we can make our code production ready so that we can deploy to any Sandbox or production or any other non-scratch org from a scratch org, right? So basically, we are going to deploy our code, or I should say metadata, from a scratch org to non-scratch org, right? And that non-scratch org can be anything. I mean, it can be a sandbox, it can be a production, right? Okay, so for this tutorial, I have just used my previous scratch org that I created in some of the previous tutorial. So in this scratch org, I have installed HTTP callout framework so that it has some kind of metadata that I can deploy to production, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to convert all this metadata that is in source format, or I should say the scratch.org favorable format into metadata format, right? And then I'm going to deploy all this code into a different environment that is a sandbox. Okay, so the one thing that you should notice is that right now in this code, I don't have any package.xml file, right? Even if I search for package.xml, I don't have any package.xml out here because this whole project is linked to a scratch org, which is this org. And when we are dealing with scratch org, we don't necessarily need package.xml. Okay, so I don't have any package.xml, but I will have a package.xml when I'll convert it into metadata format so that it can be deployed to production, right? So we are going to convert our source format to metadata format, right? Okay, so let's do that. The command to convert your source code from source format to metadata format is SFDX force source and then convert, right? So I mean, you should execute this command actually from inside a folder where you have your source format, right? I mean, you should execute this command from inside a project, I should say. Okay, and it will automatically convert your all of the files that are present in your project into metadata format. There are some optional parameters that you can give. For example, if you are actually running this command, then you can specify the source directory by -r. You can specify the output directory uh, that you want to use by -d. So let's say I don't want to use this particular directory in which I am in. I want to use some other directory. So I can give the directory path here, right? And I can give the output directory name here. Let's say output dir or something like that. And if I want to actually specify a name also along with my deployment, I can add a package name also by using -n and then the name of the package, right? I should write a package name like this, right? So I'm not specifying a source directory over here because that's not required. However, I can specify an output directory and a package name as well. But for now, let's just delete all of this, and I'm just going to use SFDX for source convert because all of the other parameters are optional, right? So let's press enter and let's see if we are able to convert our source format into metadata format or not. Okay, so you can see here it is showing me that my source was successfully converted to metadata API format and returned to the location, and then the location is under my project directory. It's metadata package underscore something, some random number, right? So if I see here in my source directory, I have a folder named as metadata underscore package, metadata package underscore this whole thing, right? And in this folder, I have all the components that are in my org in the metadata format, and I have also a package.xml that is automatically generated for me. And if I check out this package.xml, it consists of all the metadata that is there in my org so that it can be deployed to any kind of sandbox or production environment. Okay, so the one thing to notice is that I mean, I want to show you the difference between source format and metadata format. Let's have a look at the objects, right? Because I installed HTTP callout framework in my org. So let me show you what object that I have. I have actually a custom metadata here that is a part of HTTP callout framework. And this custom metadata has a name of HTTP callout configuration, and inside that I have two records. Uh, One is the test metadata, which is used for test coverage, and this is a sample callout configuration that I deliver as a part of the framework, right? Okay, so I have a metadata record, I mean a metadata, and I have two records under this. And if I check out the metadata, I have a couple of fields inside the metadata which are a part of the framework. Like I can have a body, endpoint, method, timeout, etc., etc. Right? So this callout configuration metadata, if I see here as a part of my original project that is there, let's forget about this converted directory. Right? I'm just having a look at my project. So if I see here the metadata, I have the objects folder under which I have this metadata folder, and under this I have a fields directory in which I have separate XML for each and every field. Like for body field, I have a separate field XML. For endpoint field, I have a separate XML, right? So inside each XML, I just have a custom field tag and some data about the field, right? Okay, and if I have a look at the validation rules also, I have a separate XML for validation rule as well, right? So this is the structure of the source format, because let's say in my inside my custom metadata I have some of the fields and I have a validation rule as well. So I have separate XMLs for each of the field, and I have a different XML for a validation rule also, right? But now let's have a look at the converted format, which is not the source format but the metadata format, right? So I'm just going to close this folder, and I'm going to just expand this folder, which is which we converted just now, and this format is metadata format. And if I check the objects directory inside this metadata format, you will see that I just have a single dot object file. So this is also in the XML format, but this has an extension of dot object. And if I check out this dot object file in detail, I'll see that I have all the fields that are a part of my object inside the same dot object file. As well as if I just search for validation rule here, I can see here that my validation rule is also a part of my object file. So inside the metadata format, if we check out custom objects, we will see that we have all the fields and all the metadata related to an object. So all the metadata that is related to an object is in the object file, right? In case of mdapi format, right? However, if I talk about source format, then all the metadata that is related to an object, okay, so that's in separate XML files, right? Here I'm talking about source format, which is supported by Scratchbox, right? So Scratchbox has a different project structure, and Metadata API has a different project structure, right? So here we converted our Scratchbox project structure into Metadata API project structure. So the next thing that we need to do is to just deploy it to a sandbox or a production, so that we can check out whether we are able to deploy this or not, right? So this is the folder inside which I have everything. So I'm just going to change the folder name, so I can actually specify the folder name when I'm running this command itself. So I'm just going to delete it for a while, and I'll run this convert command again, and I'll specify a folder name this time. So the output folder should be -d, and let's say folder, let's say I'm giving it as deployment folder, right? So it will automatically create a directory for me again after converting, but this time my folder name will be deployment folder, not a random folder name, right? Because I have specified this in the command itself, right? Okay, so whenever you want to convert your source code, you can just use this command, which is SFDX force source convert, and it will convert your source code, right? Okay, so let's move ahead. Now what I'm going to do, I need to deploy this to a production or sandbox, right? But for the sake of demo, I don't have any production or sandbox right now. I'm just going to create a new scratchog, and I'll use that scratchog as a sandbox, and I'll use the same commands that you can use to deploy to any production environment or sandbox environment, right? I'm not going to push it like we do a push in the scratchog, but I'll deploy it specifically using the metadata API to like like a sandbox or a production, right? So let me create a new scratchog very quickly, and we'll resume on this. So I have just written a command over here which says SFDX force source create. So I'm just creating a new scratchog, which and I'm giving that scratchog name as sandbox to deploy, and I have specified the number of days as 1, and I have specified my JSON file for for creation of scratchog, right? And I'm also going to use another dev hub, and my dev hub name is Curious Fox Dev Hub, and let's create a new scratchog and we'll deploy it all the source code that is converted into metadata format to that scratch.org using the metadata API. So we'll consider that scratch.org as a sandbox or a production environment, and we'll use the metadata API command. So my scratch.org is created successfully now, and I have just opened my scratch.org using SFDX force or open, and I have given the username, which is sandbox to deploy, right? So I can see here that my scratch.org is open successfully, and I'll navigate to the deployment settings page so that I can see the deployment while it's happening. Okay, so here's the deployment status. I'll click on this when I'll start the deployment, right? So for deployment, I'm going to use this particular folder that we created, and I'm going to use SFDX mdapi commands, right? So I'll use SFDX force mdapi and then deploy. So this command actually needs some parameters. If you have a zip file, you can use -f command to specify the zip file. But right now I don't have a zip file. I have a directory over here. So I'll be using -d, which stands for directory. And my directory name is deployment folder, right? And I also need to specify the username of my production or sandbox environment. So here the username of my production or sandbox is sandbox to deploy. So I'll just be writing here as sandbox to deploy, and I'll use this particular command to deploy everything that we converted right now into mdapi format to our production environment, right? So let me just clear the screen once, and we'll use this command to deploy, which is sfdx force mdapi deploy -d my deployment folder and -u sandbox to deploy. So here you can see that my progress is my deployment has been started. So let's go to deployment status page, and let's check out if our deployment has begun or not, right? Okay, so it deployed really fast, I think. Let me check out from here also. So if you want to check out the deployment status, you can also use this command which it is specifying over here, which is sfdx force mdapi deploy and then report, right? Let's check it out if our deployment is done or not. Okay, so we are not able to fetch reports. So let's see if our deployment is done or not. Okay, so our deployment is done, and the deployment is done successfully. That's why it is not able to fetch the reports, because the deployment is already completed, right? So here we can see that our 22 components are deployed successfully. Okay, so let me tell you one more thing before moving ahead. But before that, I just want to specify that if you want to have an output directory by any user-friendly name, you can just specify -d here also, and you can specify the name. Like I specified here, deployment folder while converting the source code, right? And while deployment, I use this deployment folder here. -d stands for the directory that I'm going to use for deployment, and -u is my production or sandbox environment username, right? So here what we did, we actually created a scratch org, and we used that username to deploy using the mdapi commands. But in actual, when you are going to deploy to a sandbox or to a production environment, you have to actually authorize that org, right? You cannot actually use a username of the scratch org or something like that. You actually need to log in and authorize that org using sfdx, right? So I'm just going to tell you how you can authorize any sandbox or production environment and give it a user friendly name, like sandbox to deploy or production to deploy, something like that, right? So to authorize any org, you can use sfdx force auth and then web and then login command, right? -r here stands for the instance URL. So let's say you want to log in into a sandbox. So I'll give the instance URL as test.salesforce.com, right? And if I want to log in into a production, I will give the instance URL as login.salesforce.com, right? So -r is used to specify the instance URL, and after that you can specify a user-friendly name. So user-friendly name is nothing but the alias for an org. So let's say I'm going to deploy everything into production environment, or this whole folder that I just fetched into production environment, this particular folder. So I'm just going to give a user friendly name for this command. So the alias will be, let's say the alias is production to deploy, right? So I'm just going to use this particular command to authorize my production environment, and I have specified the login URL as login.salesforce.com. So it will automatically open this particular URL, and I can log in into that org. So let me just execute this command once so that I can show you how I'm authorizing this. So as you can see here, it has automatically opened login.salesforce.com for me, and I can directly log in into any kind of production environment using my username and password. I'm just going to use this particular account for now to log in into my production environment, and I'm going to click on login. So as you are successfully logged in into your production environment, you will see a message in your VS Code or any kind of command line tutorial which will say that successfully authorize this particular org with org ID, and you may now close the browser, right? So what I have done, I have actually successfully authorized my org now, and I can directly use that particular org name in this particular deploy command to deploy the folder to my production environment, right? So even if I need to open this org, I can show you that. So if I need to open this org, I can just execute SFDX force org and then open, and I can use my user friendly org name that I set here, which was I think production to deploy. Yeah, my org name is production to deploy, and I can directly open this org using this user friendly name because I have authorized it once, right? So as you can see here that the org that I just authorized, which is Curious Folks HY7 something, it is automatically opened using SFDX force open command, right? So here we got to know that how we can authorize a sandbox or a production environment, and we can actually deploy everything by converting our source code into the metadata API format, and then we can deploy our whole source code into the production environment, right? Okay, so that's all for this tutorial, everyone. Hope you liked it, and let me know your feedback in the comments down below. And I'll see you in the next video. Till then, have a good day.